Volitional form。皆さんこんにちは。今日は volitional form について勉強しましょう。So, the volitional form is used to express someone's will, someone's intention to do something. With this form, you can express ideas like I will, let's, or shall we? How to make the volitional form. First, let's learn how to conjugate the form. As usual, the conjugation rules differ for each verb group. If you want to review how to tell the verb group, go watch the video for lesson 14. Let's start with group 3 verbs. There's only 2 group 3 verbs, する to do, and 来る to come. You just have to memorize that the volitional form of する or します is しよう, しよう, and 来る or 来ます is 来よう, 来よう. Sorry for the sidetrack, but I have a quick pronunciation tip. Yo u is pronounced yo o, yo. Even though it's spelled yo u, we normally just pronounce it yo o, yo, like a long o sound, yo. So, しよう is pronounced しよう. 来よう is 来よう. This applies to all words, not just the volitional form. 銀行 is normally pronounced 銀行. 掃除 is 掃除. 東京 no one says 東京 we just say 東京. Next, group 2 verbs. Group 2 verbs are always so easy. If it's the diction form, just change the ending る to よ. If it's the must form, just change the ます to よ. 食べる 食べます. 食べよう 教える 教えます. 教えよう あげる あげます. あげよう. And lastly, group 1 verbs. If it's the diction form, just change the う vowel sound to the お vowel sound plus う. If it's the must form, change the い vowel sound plus ます to the お vowel sound plus う. 行く、行きます。行こう、飲む、飲みます。飲もう、買う、買います。買おう。Or for group 1 verbs, you can also use the hiragana chart to make the volitional form from the diction form. Move 2 rows down. If it's from the must form, move 3 rows down. Alright, that's it. This is the summary of how to make the volitional form. Take a screenshot, laminate it, and put it up on your wall. That would make me really happy. How to use the volitional form. Now that we know how to make the form, let's learn how to use it in a sentence. I would like to explain the uses of the volitional form in 3 groups. When it's used by itself, when it's used in a question, and when it's used with と思っています. When it's used by itself. When it's used by itself, it can mean let's or I will. 行こう, which is the volitional form of 行く, means let's go. Let's go. We've already learned how to say let's go in lesson 6. 行きましょう, 行きましょう. ましょう form is actually the polite volitional form. So these two mean exactly the same thing. But you say 行きましょう if you want to sound polite, and 行こう to sound casual, like when you talk with your close friends. Let's go to Tokyo. Casually, 東京に行こう. 東京に行こう. Politely, 東京に行きましょう. 東京に行きましょう. And here's the thing. 東京に行こう can mean let's go to Tokyo or I will go to Tokyo in a certain context. However, the polite volitional form cannot mean that. It always means let's go to Tokyo and never I will go to Tokyo. So again, 東京へ行こう can mean I will go to Tokyo, but only in a certain context. It can mean I will instead of let's, only if you're talking to yourself or you made that decision on the spot. For example, if someone asks, 明日何をしますか? What are you doing tomorrow? Here you cannot say 東京に行こう. Nah. But if you're watching TV and find out that Uniqlo is having a sale, here you can say to yourself, あ、明日ユニクロ行こう to mean I will go to Uniqlo tomorrow. This is perfectly natural because you're talking to yourself. Check. And you made that decision on the spot. Check. You might ask, so if it's only used to talk to yourself, does that mean it's never used in a conversation? No, you can use it in a conversation too. But in that case, it's more like you're letting the other person overhear your self-talk. For example, someone says, 昨日ユニクロに行ったらセールやっててすごく安かったですよ. Yesterday I went to Uniqlo and they were having a sale. It was really cheap. Here, you can reply, 本当? 私も明日ユニクロ行こう. This successfully means I will go to Uniqlo tomorrow. Why does this work? Because you're still kind of talking to yourself. You're just letting the other person overhear your self-talk. And for that reason, it doesn't need to be in the polite form. 行きましょう. It's not really a message directed at the listener. You're still talking to yourself. And of course, you don't need to be polite to yourself, right? So it's always the plain volitional form instead of the polite volitional form. When it's used in a question. When the volitional form is used in a question, it means, shall we? Shall we have some coffee? コーヒーを飲もうか? コーヒーを飲もうか? If you want to say this more politely, use the polite volitional form and say, コーヒーを飲みましょうか? コーヒーを飲みましょうか? Also, in a really casual setting, 飲もうか is often pronounced 飲もっか, 飲もっか. The u changes to a small tsu, 飲もっか. コーヒー飲もっか. So 食べようか often becomes 食べよっか, 食べよっか. Lastly, volitional form plus と思っています. It means I'm thinking of doing something. 夏休みの予定がありますか? Do you have any plans for a summer vacation? I'm thinking of traveling to Kyoto. 京都に旅行しようと思っています。京都に旅行しようと思っています。Instead of 思っています、you can also say 思います。京都に旅行しようと思います。But this one means more like, I think I will travel to Kyoto. It sounds like you decided to go to Kyoto on the spot, or not long ago. If you made that decision some time ago, you should stick to 思っています。京都に旅行しようと思っています。Also, you can use the 思います version only for your own intention. It cannot be used to talk about someone else's intention. For example, with the 思っています version, you can say 父は京都に旅行しようと思っています。It means my dad is thinking of traveling to Kyoto. It's perfectly natural. But you cannot say 父は京都に旅行しようと思います. This doesn't mean my dad is thinking of traveling to Kyoto. It's just a really unnatural sentence that no one says. Alright, 今日は以上です。皆さんいつもサポートありがとうございます。そして日本語の勉強いつも本当にお疲れ様です。じゃあまた次のビデオで会いましょう。じゃあまたね。バイバイ。